Hey y'all, so I am about to cook some smothered pork steak, and I want to show y'all how a few tips how to do it right. So I kind of pre-prep some things, but this is one of the ways how I brown my pork steak. How are y'all today? So we got some, y'all see this? Some pork steaks. If I had like everything for a grill, I would go outside and put this on the grill because it's really pretty outside today. But because I feel like eating it over gravy, making a gravy with it, I'm gonna do it like this. So some pork steak, you guys. All right. So because that's what was on sale. So we're gonna stick to what was on sale in the store. All right. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some oil, and some of y'all may know this trick already. That's some canola oil. And I'm going to caramelize some sugar. Alright. So that's about what is this? So that's probably about 4 tablespoons of sugar, right? So if y'all watch it, it's gonna cook and it's gonna turn brown, right? So that's gonna be my beginning process of browning it, right? So this is kind of like a little tip, like if you already don't know how to brown meat, or like if you don't know this little trick. Now you have to be careful with that, because if it once it starts smoke, it's gonna start smoking really, really quickly. And if you're not ready to kind of like start browning your meat, it's gonna start burning. Okay, so it goes from a caramelizing process to burnt stage really, really quickly. It's gonna get smoky. I'm not gonna be able to turn on the vents because it's gonna mess up the video. Right? So so again, I just took some canola oil and some sugar, and I'm gonna let the sugar begin to caramelize to make it a browning agent for me. So you may have known that trick, you may have not, but this is how if I want to get a deep brown gravy, this is what I do. Okay? So I'm gonna get it to the point where the color that I want it, so that way my meat can be completely covered. All right? So and like I said, you can't walk away from it because it's going to turn really, really quickly. Let me get a spoon to kind of like make sure. So it's almost like you have to like fry the sugar, okay? And this is just one trick to browning meat. So I'm actually just kind of like working the sugar in there, dissolving it in the oil. Of course, it's going to, if you're not careful, it's going to start sticking, okay? Alright, so it's just a quick meal I'm about to do, and then once I kind of start getting it to the color I want, I'm gonna add my veggies, and I'm gonna smother it for a little while. So that's where you get smothered pork chops from smothered pork steak. Alright, so I know y'all up in the house during this time, so I want to kind of give you a few tips, tricks of the trade, so that you can go ahead and cook that as well. A lot of people have a hard time. One thing I really hate is when all the food look the same color, or it's like everything look beige, or not talking about folks, but sometimes people wonder why their food look all the same color. So there's you know, there's ways to get browning techniques to get it to the color and the consistency that you want, so that everything on the plate is not the same color or looking beige. I don't know. To me, beige food don't look too appetizing. And what is it like? And I've seen in different cultures or different, you know, areas, like smothered pork chops or smothered whatever, it be beige, and that I don't like that. That's just me. I mean, y'all may like that. Yes, the color makes it look good to eat. So this is a way. So let me see. It's starting to turn a little color. All right, so you kind of start seeing the browning of the sugar is starting to caramelize, right? So those black brownish spots, all right. No, it's not just a hood thing. It's like in any place. If I go to somebody's restaurant, I do not want to have no beige meat. All right, so as you can see, it's gonna start browning really quick, and it starts smoking, right? So again, I would usually put the vent on, but because I'm recording, it's gonna overshadow the recording. So it's gonna start. You see, it's kind of like browning. So we can start putting the meat in now, but again, I want it to get to a certain color before I put it. So what I did, I just went open the door. So before everybody in the house start coughing. All right, so y'all kind of see that, how it's getting brown? Bam. All right, so I'm gonna take my steaks. You gotta remember that it's grease, so you wanna be careful that you don't pop yourself or it don't pop back on you. And you wanna make sure that your meat is flat, all right? So if you have more than those two, you would just do it in sets, okay? You don't wanna stack them in the process of browning, all right? Hey Tia sis, how are you? Hey Tarek, I see you on here. And my camera's kind of turned, so if I look crazy, it's just because of the way how I'm recording. All right, so you're gonna leave it only on that side for about a minute because you don't want to burn your meat. But this is another technique. You want to actually kind of cook the outer layer so it's kind of like frying in the grease, but it's not fried because I didn't put any like batter on it or anything. But once I turn it over, it's going to be cooked on the outside, but I'm going to cover it with the top to smother it, okay? Y'all gonna be getting some plates soon. I got a post after this. I'm gonna announce something in a bit. All right, so that's probably the brownish I wanted to get. So I'm going to just flip it over. All right, so for that last process, I'm gonna let it brown a little bit longer, but I'm gonna get some water, all right? Because what's about to happen is once I pour the water in, at this consistency, it's going to make a brown base. And it's gonna infuse my meat, so it's gonna be totally brown, all right? Yes, you can do your steaks like this. This is pork steak, but you can do your any type of beef steaks like this as well. And then once for those types of steaks, after this process right here, after you do the browning, which I would actually do it a little bit different with with beef, but I was still browning on both sides, and I will put it in a cast iron pan, and I will put it in the oven and kind of place it on broad for a little while to kind of cook the inside of that meat, all right? So it's kind of probably a little bit different how I would do a steak. Because this is pork, I'm browning it like this. I probably would brown it in butter versus canola oil. All right, so if you had regular beef steaks, you would want to brown it in butter. All right. Hey, Jamie, Chef Jamie's on here. All right, so it's gonna, in your house, it's gonna have a certain smell. Like, so it's gonna smell like a lot of seasoning, so you'll probably start coughing and stuff like that. But it doesn't mean that it's burnt or anything is wrong. It's just the process of the sugar cooking down, right? All right, so that's the color I wanted on that side. So what I'm about to do is, it's only gonna be a little bit of this water. I don't know how much it is, but you want to put enough just to sear the bottom of it. So that water just mixed with the grease is pulling all the flavors up from out of the pot. All right? So you don't need that much. So we're going to let that simmer a little while. And you're going to add your veggies. So this is onions and bell peppers that I kind of pre-cut. Y'all, this is going to be a good, some home-cooked food like you in the South, okay? Mind you, when I'm cooking in this pot right here, so this is a Magnalite pot. Almost every family in Lafayette have a Magnalite pot. All right, so these are the best pots on earth, besides like kettle pots. Well, they probably, because they do different things, I wouldn't put them on the same scale, but all right. So okay, so you calling it deglazing? I don't know. I just cook, right? So I don't know. So right, watch this once I turn it over. Look at that. Look at that pretty color. You getting a nice pretty color to your meat. So, okay, so this right here is going to serve my whole family. So at least 6 people, because each piece of these steaks can break it up into like 3 to feed 3 servings. So it could feed 6 people, right? So if you don't have 6 people in your house, you can have leftovers. But from this meal, I'm not going to have any leftovers, and I did that on purpose because I want to cook something different tomorrow. So I don't want any leftovers. But if you need more, so just think about like each steak can go for 2 to 3 people, depending on how much folks eat in your household, right? But I really think that each steak is good for 3 people. You don't need that much pork in your life, right? All right, so I am going to get me a little bit of, what is this? Parsley. Alright, so these techniques on cutting parsley and the difference between Italian parsley and what is this called? Curly parsley. I'll tell y'all that in another video, but today we just gonna just focus on browning the meat. That's what it's really about. Alright, so I'm gonna put that to the side. Alright, so here's another tip real quick. So the pot or the bowl that you season your food in, which is always a reason why you should be probably seasoning it in a container versus the sink, because what I'm about to show you can't do in the sink. Alright, so instead of wasting season, because I don't like wasting season because this is expensive seasoning, so we're gonna do this. We're gonna add some water to it. I'm going to try to get that up. And I'm going to put this in my meat. I'm gonna add some more water. Get the rest of that seasoned up, you see? And you don't want to worry about having too much water at this point because you need the water to smother. So it's gonna start balling and it's gonna allow it to begin to tenderize. So I'm actually gonna do that process like as much water as I just put, probably 2 more times. So what we're gonna do is, no, you can open up that front door, but I can't turn the fan on. All right, I'm gonna put that like that. So like I've already had seasoning on my meat. I add onions and bell peppers. I use a seasoning, put the water in that to add even more flavor. So now it's going to, we're gonna cover that. Look, see this? Now, the reason why, and I'm gonna let that simmer until the water go down, add more water again, because I want it as tender as possible, all right? Hey, Tori. Yeah, you know how we do it. All right, so listen, another reason why I was saying like this is like probably one of the best pots in the world. It's a Magnolite pot. All right, so say for instance, this is maybe some beef meat or some oxtails or something that you need to cook for a long time, or even a roast, because even this process that I just did, I will even do a roast like that. I will brown it on both sides, and I can actually take this pot and put it in the oven and finish cooking it in the oven. And it just has a really good seal on it, allows your food to have a lot of flavor. All right, so I definitely would invest in one of these. They're very hard to find at this particular time because they're so old. And some of the sets that I have, my grandmother gave. So let's see. What's that pot I cooked with this morning, y'all? Okay, y'all see this? This right here, this pot probably about 30 years old. Like, this come from my grandmother. And when she was cooking, and I've been having it since she began this to me since I left her house since I was 17. So that right there is like 18 years ago. So in addition to, and I still have this, and you can still see the Magnolite on here. All right, so these some really good pots, and it soaks up all the seasoning. It's all your, like, these are my pots, child. So you gotta have some good pots. All right, so I'm gonna just let that cook, and then I will show y'all the ending products. Of course, I'm gonna cook some jasmine rice with that. I know people from the South don't like no long grain rice. They like medium grain, but I'm gonna put this with some long grain rice, and I'm gonna make a gravy a little bit later, pour that over the rice with probably some sweet peas on the side. So, all right, so I want to kind of show y'all that little tidbit, and I'll probably show y'all a little bit later. But look at that, y'all see that? I mean, and it smells so good, it sounds good. It's about to be good. All right. All right, if y'all have not already, y'all go to my YouTube channel. Y'all subscribe at the YouTube channel at Chef Kiva, so that y'all can stay hip to what's going on. I'm actually gonna post another video that I'm doing as far as a raffle these next couple of days, so y'all kind of just stay in touch. Please like, share, and subscribe. All right, I'm gonna talk to y'all later.